Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm explaining our new Blahtech product. It is our spin on an indicator called better volumes. Now personally I use volumes sporadically, mainly as a supportive element in my overall market evaluation toolbox. And towards the end of the video I will go over some strategy ideas on how you can apply these volume signals to your own existing approach. So make sure you keep watching until the end. I'm just going to drop the indicator onto the chart. There we are, Blahtech better volume. First up, the colors are a little bit different than the original. We've done this to match our own Blahtech ecosystem. And we've also added an additional condition that you won't find on the original indicator. Many of the features are customizable, just like any other Blahtech indicator you may have used so far. But let's start with the volume colors and what they mean. The gray volume bars represent normal volume, meaning there's nothing unusual going on. Therefore, I wanted to push it back into the background, so to speak, because there's really nothing much you can glean from normal volumes. Then there's minimum volume, marked with this dark gray color. Most of the time, minimum volume means lack of interest and lack of movement. Usually these are most frequently found at the end of the session. So if you see these and you're planning some grand reversal trade, it's probably best to wait until the next session begins. Because minimum volume is just that, very low volume. Then we have high churn. Now high churn is in a similar color to the original indicator. It's this lime green. High churn happens when there's lots of volume coming in, but the candle range is relatively small. This is considered an anomaly, and it's one of the conditions that can be useful if you already expect a reversal at a particular key level, for example. Small candle range with significant volume equals high churn. The next condition is volume climax up. On Blahtech better volume, this is marked with our bicolor, which is sky blue. This one is self-explanatory. It means that there is a lot of volume with a lot of movement, and the buyers are winning. Then we have the exact opposite, volume climax down, in the Blahtech sell color, light pink. It means sellers have taken over and they're coming into the market with significant force. Moving on to the Climax Churn, marked in magenta color. It indicates maximum volume, but the candle range, while it's larger than average, it doesn't quite correlate with the amount of volume that's come in. For example, like you can see here, the Blahtech better volume is marking these two candles as Climax Churn, and they're both medium range, but they have the highest volume. Then we have the new Blahtech exclusive condition. We added this plum color, and we're calling it Climax Neutral. It means there's a lot of volume without a clear direction. Usually this is accompanied by a neutral candle, like you can see here, with large wicks on both sides, also known as the doji star. However, there's an additional condition that also means climax neutral, and that's when the candle wick and the candle body direction don't match. What does that mean? Well, for example, you can see here, you have a large buying wick, but a bare candle. That's unclear direction, and that's why we're calling this condition climax neutral. Very frequently when you see this new condition, it can mean that there's definitely another larger move coming, but you'll need to use something else for your actual trade direction and entry price. Volume should be just one supportive factor in your trading rather than a do or die signal to enter. It doesn't give you a clear entry, stop loss price, or an exit signal, but it's great as a little nudge that a significant move may happen right after this climax neutral bar appears. And then we have alerts. When it comes to alerts, you have a range of options as usual. Pop-up, email, notification, and then a choice of which condition you want to be alerted for. So that's quite self-explanatory. By default, alerts happen at candle close. However, for higher time frames, we've added the option to trigger alerts in real time so that you don't have to wait until the end of the week or end of the month for an update. The final feature of the Blahtech better volume indicator is this volume moving average line. When the volumes are above the line, it means there's still plenty of interest and lots of participants. If, however, the price falls below the line and stays below it, it means that opportunities will be few and far between with not a lot of movement. Typically, this will be seen towards the end of the session. And now for some strategy ideas. Most of the time, I will use a combination of at least two conditions to confirm a fake out or a reversal. Now with fake out moves, look for a combination of this magenta and lime green. Automatically, when you see this, one of the candles is usually quite large, and that never leads to a new breakout or a new trend. It's always a situation where you want to look to fade the move that went too far, happened too quickly with way too much volume. Too hard, too fast. That's not a new trend. That is an anomaly that usually fizzles out or reverses like you see in this case. Then you have our new condition, Climax neutral in plum, that can be a standalone bar, although ideally you want to see that it was either preceded or followed by high churn bars. Anytime you see one of these combinations, there is a much higher probability of a major move coming. Now, to which side, that's up to your other supportive factors to decide. When it comes to climax up and climax down, these are best used as continuation signals once you're already in a trade rather than an entry signal. And that's because by the time the massive buy or sell candle appears with lots and lots of volume, the main part of the move is usually over. So jumping in at that time, it means that you're at risk of buying the top or selling the bottom. I prefer to use the anomalous volumes instead. And then if the climax up or down candle appear, I will use those to confirm a continued sustained auction and maybe to extend the time of the trade by an extra 5, 10, 15 or 30 minutes. On the other side of the spectrum, if you get the dark gray minimum volume bars and if the volumes fall below this moving average line, planning a trade at that time is not going to be the best choice, because this usually means that there's a total lack of interest and lack of activity. It's then best to end your day and go do something else. And that's it for our new indicator Blahtech Better Volume. You can download a free demo for either MT4 or MT5. You can even rent it to try it out. You will find all the relevant links in the description box below this video. Feel free to comment with any questions you may have. Thank you for watching.